Good evening, folks. Okay, this is real quick. What I want to point out, what's on the screen right now, I have gotten my weaker march to where I can kill epic hydras with no wounded with my weaker march, and then my stronger march, of course. All I have to do is have the just regular march size and 1 hour troop buffs on, and I can kill them both. So instead of doing one at a time, I can do two at a time now. So I've unlocked that. We're all fighting for inches here, one step at a time. But the bigger this thing gets, the faster it gets bigger. What I really wanted to address is, well, hold on. Okay, these other monsters that are on, okay, I understand that that's what the rallier that's on can kill. And with my auto join, I am picking them up. But I would like to set my auto join where for the boss monsters, I don't pick up nothing less than B14 behemoths, and I don't pick up nothing less than like level 5 warlords for these events. And I'd like to set it up where the strong monster ralliers that can kill those monsters, if you cannot, then all you have to do is find them and rally them with one troop, and one of our marches is going to come in and kill it. That way we can fill up this rally board with nothing but the bigger drops. And because those are the ones that are given, tactic scrolls, blood crystals, the things that we really need to push this all the way over the top. But I need for everybody to get on board that idea, and that's a lot of people to convince, so I need your help. Here's another thing that, okay, I'm going to give you a minute to read that. Okay. What she's saying here, we're going to go to, no, damn it, I don't want to be on world chat. How should I do this? Okay, we're going to go to alliance chat, and then, okay. Okay, you see this score. If that opponent had hit back, we could have scored over 250k points as an alliance. In Chalons season, that's what's really important. But we're having to push for higher personal scores to unlock Wonder 3, to unlock the dragon, to unlock art treasures and stuff. We need to implement a system where we do this, kind of like what we do for wings and throne. Everybody gets their turn after they've gotten the wings. That way you end up with a stronger server. This is a very hard thing to achieve. We've just been pushed to Continent 4. Okay, the thing you need to understand, which last battlefield no one did, we had a high turnout. We needed it for the high alliance score, and I'm grateful for that. One step at a time. The next thing I need y'all to understand is the player that takes the building, the player that occupies the building, the first one in, that player is going to get more points per second than anyone who reinforces. So, during this season, if you're going in there, ooh, there's an open building, I need to occupy it. You just took all the points that Nepheri needed to make this all-star cut. And if we're going to have players that are doing that, this is yet another season where neither one of us are going to make that all-star cut. So we have not taken enough time to educate everyone how these battlefields work and how points are scored to get everybody on board. We need the whole alliance on board. We need the whole alliance to understand there's something called a push. Last battlefield, no one understood that. It was only 3 buildings the entire battlefield that I was the first one to occupy. Because it's been every man for themselves, and we don't have a united strategy on how we're going to push points up to the top. Until we can do this and get this understanding, no one in this alliance is going to get Red Wings. No one on this server is going to get Red Wings. Okay, what that's going to mean, because we are fighting other servers where you've got 3 and 4 keeps that have Red Wings. I don't want to be fighting servers where I'm the only one that can take a hit from these Red Wing keeps and the rest of you have to bubble, and you don't have gems, you don't have blood of Ares, you don't have treasure boxes, you don't have tactic scrolls, all these other things that SVS drops because you can't fight these keeps because you can't get Red Wings. Okay, the whole alliance has to understand that when we're pushing for Red Wings, we pick 1, possibly 2 players that occupy buildings. So during this season, you're not like, ooh, there's a building, I need to get it. You don't do that. You let one of us know that there's a building and we go get it. Then you come in and reinforce for the alliance score. That's a primary thing. There's a lot to it, and I know we need to convince a lot of people. I don't want anybody to think I'm yelling at them because they did something wrong. Because like I said, this right here is great. This is great. We would have scored over 250K if that opponent had hit back. We still would have won. I still unlocked a Senate seat with over that 30,000 score. Those aren't bad results. We're doing better and better every time we go into a battlefield. I need everyone to understand that if we're going to get Red Wings or even qualify, Neff and I need higher scores than that because of the continent that we're on. Not your fault. When we go in there Saturday, I need everyone on board to understand you don't take buildings if they're red. You don't take buildings if they're unoccupied. You let Neff or I in there first, then you reinforce. You will get max reward scores by joining rallies, by saying, hey, I need reinforcements, I'm being scouted, they're about to hit me. We can go in there, we can reinforce, we can do all those things, but we have to be the first to take buildings, the ones that we're pushing. Because you get more points per second or per minute if you're the first one to go in there. If someone else occupies it, let's say, okay, look at Nagesh and Tot's scores. Look at Paco's scores. Look at Kiko's scores. They were some of the main ones that saw, ooh, there's a building, I got to take it, which is good for the alliance score, yes. But our scores could have been, I could have scored over 40K, Neff could have scored over 50K if the opponent had hit back. That was just a bad round for us to get maximum scores. So it's going to be even harder next round for us to make up the difference in rank. So we can push 2 players at a time here in UIT to get Red Wings. We can do it. But we need the whole alliance to understand that during an Ultimate Battle season, during a Chalons season, you've got to hang back and let these people take the buildings. So I just need you to fix one single thing. Everything else y'all are doing is wonderful. Great. We're scoring high as an alliance. We'll probably, well, we'll get in a challenge round with big people and get zeroed and all that. I don't know if we're going to bring home a level 4 alliance castle like we want to. That's a pretty high wall, but what I'm doing about that is I'm getting lethal up where she's like a 3 or 4 tap instead of a 2 tap for these big keeps and building the team that way. But there you have, I think I've explained enough, and I've said it in a way that wasn't a text message conversation. We're going to keep talking about this every day because there are going to be people who don't get the memo. It's a very hard thing to communicate. So, to recap, I only need a few players to hang back and tell myself or Neff, hey, here's an open building, get it, instead of you taking it. That's all I need from you for this season. Now, if it's not an ultimate battle season, keep playing the way you're doing because you're kicking ass. We just need your help to advance. And then the next ultimate battle season, we want to put 2 players in there so we can get 10, 12 sets of Red Wings in UIT instead of just one keep that has it. You see what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense, and I hope y'all understand. I'm not yelling at anybody or mad at anybody. We only need to change one thing for that push, and then we need to draw the right opponent. So, okay, let's, where's the buttons that, how do I, okay.